Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this NAKOOS mini electric grinder. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So here it says 5 adjustable speeds, LED lighting, 50-piece accessories. Here are the specs on the side. It says size about 7.1 inches, tail end diameter is 1.3 inches, grip diameter is 3.5 inches. The weight is about 4.6 ounces or 130 grams. No load speed says 3,000, 6,000, 9,000, 12,000, or 15,000 RPM. The collet diameter range is 0.5 to 3.2 millimeters. Maximum current is 5.5 amps. It says the grinder will automatically power off when the actual voltage is over 5.5 amps so as to protect the battery. The battery capacity is 2,000 milliamp hours. Charging is micro USB. Charging time is 120 to 240 minutes. Charging voltage is 5 volts at 2 amps. The working time is 120 minutes at no load. So let's get this open. So here we have the grinder. We have charge cable, manual, and accessories. Here's a little note. It says, in order to prolong the life of the machine, do not recharge the battery when it is completely out of power. So you want to stop this before it completely dies and get it charged up. And it charges with micro USB. So that's very handy. You could use this in an RV, car, boat. You could charge it with a battery pack. There are many options for powering this. Looks like the cable is maybe about 16 inches long, and that will plug in the end here. So I can plug that into charge, like so. Looks like we're charging at 0.66 amps. Let's take a look at the instructions. So the instructions have 6 different languages, and those are on the other panels. So 1/3 of this whole piece of paper is the English instructions. So I'm not going to go over every part of this, but you want to read through all these for all the safety and usage instructions on this. I'll look through a couple of these things. We have the product structure here. It says nut, spindle lock button, lighting button, speed adjust button, 5 levels, indicator light, charging light, LED work light, and vent. So let's take a look at the grinder. I'm going to have some safety glasses on before I turn this on. I don't expect much to happen, just testing it here, but I don't like taking any chances like that. So it has a collet lock here. We can press down on this and we'll turn that, and you can see that kind of locked in when I got to a certain position. And now I can tighten and loosen this collet. So you can see on the end there that will squeeze the bit. We have an LED light here. We have the 3 buttons here. So I'll tighten this up. I'll press plus to turn it on. We have an LED indicator here to tell us what speed we're on. So that's the top speed. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it's easy to see in person. Then this is the light button there. So that lights up your work. So let's take a look at the accessories, the rubber band on this box. So it comes with 2 little drill bits. You could probably use those for drilling something like a PCB board. We have a bunch of these fiber cutoff wheels. They kind of got mixed up around here. We have 2 different sizes of sanding discs. We have a tiny little slitting saw, and we have the mandrels for different things. So this would be for the sanding drums. So this will slide over this here, and then we can tighten it down. You can put a screwdriver on there. I'm just tightening it by hand. We'll open up the collet, and that doesn't fit. That's too big. So this does have different size collets here. We'll find the right size. I think that's the right size there. So I'll remove this. And I just want the inside out of there. I'll put that in there. I do need to take the bit out. Put the bit back in, tighten it down, and I'll make sure that bit's tight. So I want to get a screwdriver in there and tighten that down before I use it. So I'll go do that real quick. So tightening that screw down will expand the rubber against that. So now we can turn it on. And then we're on top speed. Now if we hit the plus an extra time, it completely shuts off. If we hit the minus, it will turn up to high speed. So this also has polishing wheels here. You can use this screw type bit for those. You'll see these polishing wheels have a little divot on one side. You just thread these in, and that will hold those tight, and then you can polish with that. So we have these other bits here. So there's a ball, cone, cylinder. It's kind of a flat one there. Then here we have 2 diamond bits, and here's the cutter holder. So we can open this up here. There's 2 washers. I want to split those apart. So I want to take one off. So I can stick the screw through the bottom here. I'll put the washer on the back side. Take the other side of the mandrel, I'll put it on here, I'll get the thread lined up, and then I'll just tighten it down with my fingers to start. And actually I pressed against that with my thumb and I was able to get it pretty tight. This will tighten it once you get it in the tool. So I find that these thin discs can break pretty easily, so you do want to be careful. And like I said, you want to wear eye protection. But you could use this to, say, cut locks and things, or slit a screw. So if you have a screw that's kind of stripped out, you could put a slit in it. So that will go in like this. So I tend to not like to have these pointing towards me. I want to kind of have it away. So if this flies apart, it's not going towards my eye. So let me turn this on. There we go. This also has this little saw blade. You could use this probably to cut some thin wood or plastic with this. You do want to make sure this is going the right direction. So if you're looking at this, if I'm thinking correctly, this is going to spin counterclockwise from this direction. And the way you know that is you tighten it this way. It's going to spin opposite the way you tighten it. Otherwise, it would just unscrew itself. So I'm going to take this to my shop and I'll do a demonstration of using it. Okay, so I'm in my shop here and I've just mounted this board in here to test out the sanding attachment. So I'll place that in the grinder. So I really like that this is toolless. I don't have to have any special wrenches or anything to swap out the bits. And I do have safety glasses on, so I can start this on the low mode. So to do that, I'll hit the plus. Now if I press against the wood, I could probably stall this out. Yeah, that's not hard to do. So you want a light touch. So I'll ramp up the speed. I'll try the high mode. So on that high mode, it gave me a lot more control. Now I'm using the rough sander there. If I wanted to, I could come back with the smoother one and get a very nice smooth finish. But that gave me very good control, especially on the high. On the low mode, it was a little bit jumpy. On the high, it was much smoother. So here I have a screw. Let's try cutting this. So I'll press in on the collet lock and I'll open this up. And these do use the same collet. These two bits use the same size. There we go, that's locked in there. Okay, I have my safety glasses on. So these discs can shatter pretty easily. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to have it in line with my eyes, and I'll just be pretty gentle here. I'll start on low. Yeah, I'm going to want more speed there. Okay, I just have a little bit more to cut through there. I don't want to have to go searching the floor for this real sharp piece of metal. And I could just take a wrench and break that off now and then smooth it off. And that's probably what I would do if I was cutting this for some specific purpose. But as you can see, it can cut through this. Now that's probably very hot too if you're not familiar with using a tool like this. And I was very careful and I didn't break this. I like to move back and forth when I'm doing something like that. So actually I will break that off. Now I'll find one of the grinder attachments to smooth that out. So this one uses a different size collet, so I'll swap that out. Now when you're putting your bits in, you can press them in and bottom them all the way out, but that can jam up against the collet, so I like to pull them out just a little bit. That's probably an 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch. Now I can tighten that up, and now I can turn this on and grind with it. So that's just an example of using this in a couple different applications. I think this would be great for trimming a dog's nails. I used to grind my dog's nails and I'd use a sanding drum kind of like this. You could even try the fine one. And I'd hold the dog's paw and then I would just shave away a little bit of the nails, and the dog got used to it pretty quick. Okay, so I've jumped back to my tech bench here, finish this out. So this was the NAKOOS mini electric grinder. I think this is a handy little grinder. It's very small, so you're probably not going to use this for heavy duty grinding, but it's still adequate for lots of tasks. So you could use this tool to slit on a screw, you could grind sand, you could clean contacts of a battery or something with this, you could drill holes in PCBs. There are many applications for this. You could polish small things, use it for jewelry. Since this charges with USB, this would be great for portable use because you could charge it in a car or an RV. You could charge it off a battery pack, solar pack, power pack. You can charge this off a computer. You can plug it into a phone charger. So it's very versatile in that respect. This is also very lightweight and very easy to hold. You can hold it kind of like a pencil. You can hold it like this too. So if you're doing carving and grinding, that makes it very versatile. So this runs at 3.7 volts, which may not seem like a lot, but this is a lithium battery. So this is going to give you pretty good power and runtime. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.